And this is how it becomes very personal. No?
Yes, yes. We saw this during the last elections, right? Like, instead of convincing people why you think your candidate is more eligible for the position, instead of saying that, oh, this is the reason why I'm voting for this person, what was happening was that people were attacking each other personally. And we saw this in the form of people saying that you're stupid. You're stupid for not siding with me.
Hi everybody, welcome back to At the Backdoor. I'm your host Reese, and today we have James. Hello James.
Hi, Reese.
Hi, so
Hi.
Today we are going to be having a lighthearted conversation on division amongst, for example, how the elections have transpired. So before that, James, could you please introduce yourself?
Okay. Hi guys, my name is James. I'm a legal consultant based in Makati City. I've been involved in politics for as long as I can remember through my dad. So I think I know a thing or two about our topic for today.
So let me ask you first, James. Have you noticed this kind of division, like the social division, may it be on social media or even with conversations among friends regarding politics?
Yes, of course. I think in politics there will always be division. Mm-hmm. It's very rare, especially in a democratic country. It's very rare for people to unite under one, well, let's just say flag, or under one thrust. It's very rare. I think you would have a hard time looking back in history where the entire country is united in one, under one party, under one owner. I think that example that I can think of right now is after 9/11, the United States, everyone was united then. But generally speaking, everyone will always be divided.
We've observed that social media these days tends to be very loud. Mm-hmm. Understandably so, because everybody has a platform and everybody has a voice. Uh-huh. Do you think that it's also important to set up like educational platforms in order to kind of teach the structure of being able to listen and understand each other and have like a conversation?
Yes, of course, but I think the problem is how. I think we can get to that point, but we have to understand that social media is a relatively new thing. A few years ago, we didn't even have instant messaging services, right? We didn't have Facebook. I mean, it wasn't as big as it is today.
Exactly.
Right? But right now, Twitter, Instagram, you can post anything and thousands of people can see and read what you have to say.
Even millions.
Yes, even millions. So I think right now we're still grasping at the power of that kind of technology to be able to post something from one part of the world and then other people from thousands of miles read and feel what you say. So I think right now what's happening is that people are taking advantage of this. They are talking more, but at the same time, they're not listening more. Yeah. It's more of, this is my voice, listen to me.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, this is all a novelty for all of us. Yes. So it's also hard to come up with who's to even say how to have a conversation. For example, different cultures would say different things as well.
Yes.
I guess it's a whole learn as we go thing, no? What do you think?
Yes. Yeah, let's give it a few more years. Because right now, companies such as Facebook and Google, they're trying to manage, propagation of fake news. How they do that, I do not know. But hopefully they perfect the technology and let's see what happens within the next 5 years.
I feel it would be difficult to perfect, since in the end, different generations, different time periods, it's really hard to have like a certain formula, right, for these things.
Yes, and at the same time, how do you determine which or what is fake news?
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's a challenge, but it's not impossible. So hopefully we can change and eventually realize that social media, all this technology at our fingertips, is not a license to do a free-for-all. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
It's not a free-for-all in the sense that you can just say and do whatever you want. without expecting
Everybody just
the
agree and
negative
listen.
effects of what you say, because the beauty of democracy, of being in this free society, is that you get to have a voice and you get to say it. But just because you have the power, you have the right to say something, doesn't mean that you should say it. You know what I mean?
Do you mean like proper social media etiquette,
Yes,
communication,
yes,
as well as responsibility? No.
yes, because for journalists, they follow a certain standard, right?
Exactly,
They
they were
follow a
educated on it.
journalist code of conduct or
Conduct,
something.
yeah.
There's no such thing in social media. It's a free for all. Basically, anyone can say racist tweets. Anyone can claim this or that,
Yeah.
and there's no rule to it. But I think we're getting there, because in the Philippines we now have laws about cyberbullying.
Yeah, like
We have laws about cyber libel, and the cases covering those kinds of matters are still, it's not a lot, but we're getting there. So I hope that we reach that point where people will become more conscious with what they say on the internet.
that's true.
But knowing people, knowing
Humans.
technology, knowing humans, that might be a far cry, because if you let people say whatever they want, you give them a platform that they can easily access and let them say whatever they want in the cover of anonymity, then
Okay.
then
It's good to know
they
that.
would just say whatever they want, because there will be no consequences, right? Because they're anonymous. So let's see how it evolves
Yeah.
over time.
I feel there's also this context of that we don't know of. For example, I could be having like a really bad day and something happened to me. Someone wronged me, and it just so happens that they work for this sort of person, and I could have already like a prejudiced opinion against these people, and the people reading it, for example, if thousands of people reading it, wouldn't even know. No, there's also this issue of semantics, us knowing one word
Uh-huh.
but having different
Yeah.
connotations to it.
Different interpretation of that word, which is, I guess, is normal.
Yeah,
it's a
fine.
normal problem in communication,
Exactly.
and has been a problem in society for as long as we can remember. I think this is especially true for politics, because it used to be that when you discuss politics, you discuss it in a proper environment, face to face.
Yes.
You hear this side, you respond accordingly,
It's prepared.
and then you say your side, and then he or she responds accordingly. What's happening now, however, is that there's no healthy back and forth. It's more of, I'm gonna post or tweet,
This is my
and then it's not gonna be a conversation. It's more
Okay.
of, I'm just stating something. Bahala na kayo how you interpret it. I think that's one of the problems with politics, and we all know politics is a very sensitive and ambiguous subject.
Definitely.
And there are a lot of connotations for every phrase or statement that you say.
Yes.
So, considering that communication through the internet is inherently confusing and ambiguous, then there's bound to be arguments against miscommunication on all sides.
Have you ever been a part of this sort of miscommunication? I mean, I know I have been.
Well, I rarely post anything on social media, especially
These days.
politics related, because in my opinion, if I want to discuss politics, I would want to do it in a proper avenue. But
I see.
yeah, on social media, again, it's hard to have a proper discussion, proper objective discussion with people, because they tend to get emotional, and they tend to pick apart what you say and then try to apply their biases into
Yeah.
it, which is,
Or
I think
fallacies.
I think as a conversation piece, it's okay, but if it goes into the realm of personal things, it's no longer healthy, in the sense that you're now attacking the person and not the idea.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And this is how it becomes very personal. No?
Yes. And we saw this. We saw this during the last elections, right? Like, instead of convincing people why you think your candidate is more eligible for the position. Instead of saying that, oh, this is the reason why I'm voting for this person. What was happening was that people were attacking each other personally. And we saw this in the form of people saying that you're stupid. You're stupid for not siding with me. You're stupid for choosing this. When in fact the proper statement should have been, focus on certain qualities to convince that person that this is the better candidate.
Yeah.
I can give you an example. I met with my friend who's a lawyer, and we while we were having dinner, we had a discussion about the candidates.
Okay.
And she said that she's voting for this certain candidate because this other candidate had an issue with his estate taxes. And she said that if ever he pays those or he settles those estate taxes, I will vote for him.
Okay.
But until then, I will vote for this person. And then she made a qualification saying that, who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this guy will turn out to be a good president. Maybe eventually he will pay the estate taxes. I don't know. But as it stands, this is my vote because for this reason. Compare that to other people who will say that I'm voting for this person because whoever votes for this other guy is stupid. You get the difference? You're not being objective. You're more of attacking another person.
Instead of just openly providing your opinion.
And I think if they did the way my friend did it, the results of the elections would have been different.
Definitely, if there's more understanding to it.
Yes.
And actual listening and giving and taking on, oh, I see your point there. But here is my point of view.
Exactly. That's the thing that's missing, I think, in the conversation right now, in the realm of social media.
Okay.
People are not open to discussing and having an open mind on things. It's more of attacking another and calling them names, and then feeling superior over another just because they are preferring this certain candidate, which I think is, well, it's obviously wrong. What would have worked is that you convince other people that this is the better choice because of this and that. But you don't go about attacking people. Because at the end of the day, politics, campaigns, candidacies, it's a lot like marketing. When they do their campaign strategies, they are simply following marketing strategies.
Exactly.
Because it's like a product. You want people to buy Apple, iPhone. You do marketing. You convince people that Apple is better. You convince people that Samsung is better, whatever. Same thing with campaigns. They are merely applying marketing techniques to convince you that they are the better choice. A poor marketing strategy is to insult, the consumer base. Because I can't believe that people would actually go out of their way to insult each other. What would have been better, again, is to talk about it objectively. Talking down on other people because of their choice. Well, this is my opinion, okay? But I think compared to decades ago, people are actually smarter with their choices. Because, again, before, you get your political news from newspapers. You get your political news from media, radio stations. And certain people control those things.
Exactly.
So right now, you have the internet where you can find all the information that you will ever need. And I think, basic business decision-making principle. In order to make good decisions, you need information.
Exactly.
So if you have technology that will allow you to get information, it will allow you to make good decisions. Now, they are countering this by saying that some of the information they get on social media is fake news. And I'm not going to comment on that because I don't know. I don't know which is which, right? I would say that people are smarter now because they know how to use technology.
They're more informed.
They know how to make decisions for themselves, which, if you think about it, is a huge success for democracy. Because before, I'm telling you, in the late 90s, early 2000s, the candidate that will win is whoever holds the catchy jingle.
The popularity.
the popular jingle of the time, spaghetti pababa, stuff like that. So that's why you hear stories of candidates buying songs, popular songs at the rate of 15 million pesos, 20 million pesos, because whoever has that catchy song will win the elections. But right now, those things, they don't work anymore because people can look, can go to the internet, they can see the qualifications of this candidate and this candidate, and then they can make a choice.
Exactly.
Yeah. So again, it's all marketing. If you want to convince people to buy your product, then focus on your marketing. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, social media, it will always have its imperfections, and if you let people, give them a platform to talk, then they will use it, and whether or not what they say is good or bad, it's an entirely different story. I think as a whole, I think for democracy it's good.
Okay.
Because you're letting people talk, and despite this division in politics, I think it's also good because it's good to have choices. It's not good to have just one choice. Yeah. So it's good that people are arguing. It's good that people are talking. And one thing I think that one thing we should realize is that whoever wins, it's not really the end of the world. They always say it after every election that it's the end of the world, it's the end of the country. But you know what? We're still here. We're still doing good. It's not like we're gonna be destroyed as a country, because again, at the end of the day, it's still life will move forward, and it's still up to you to decide your destiny.
Exactly. And I feel this happened. What are we gonna do about it? I feel it's good to also reflect on the past and think of how can we move forward in the future.
And also what people should understand about democracy. Because in a democratic country, you vote, and then the majority vote prevails. The idea behind that kind of principle is that the majority vote reflects the will of the entire population. So you have to respect it. So in our case, as far as we know, there was no cheating, right? As far as we know, it was a regular and honest elections. If there was some irregularities, I don't know. But as far as the COMELEC and the Supreme Court is concerned, it was all regular. So since it was regular, I think we just have to respect the democratic principle of it's the will of the majority. Hence, it's the will of the people. There's nothing we can do. We just have to support the will of the people. That's it. And maybe try to reflect on what we can do better.
Exactly.
For the next elections, because right now it's been how many months since the administration started?
Oh.
You can't. Politics is not like a video game where you can see results overnight. You have to wait a certain period of time to see the results that you've been looking for. So let's see what will happen. Let's see how we can do better during the next elections.
Do you think there'll ever be this sort of solution and this coming of an understanding between such a heated social media or turn into social circle, kind of like a argument?
If you're referring to a solution to less arguments online, well, I don't think so. I don't think so. As human beings, we're social creatures. I think we're going to be arguing until the sun blows out. We're always going to find things to argue about. And again, as a democracy, freedom of speech, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that we are disagreeing. It's a good thing that we are talking, because it helps us develop new ideas. It helps us develop communication. So generally speaking, it's healthy. What is not healthy is stopping people, preventing them from talking. Yes.
Exactly.
No, not necessarily speaking up, but just talking.
Okay.
Because in other countries, they don't really have a voice like here in our country. In some countries, if you say something against a certain group, you will get reprisals. If you say something against a certain politician or whatever, something will happen to you. But here you can put out a tweet right now calling the president this and this, and nothing will happen to you, right? So I guess it's okay, but I don't know. So far, everything that has happened, the disagreements, the arguments, it's a sign that we have a healthy democratic society, because everyone gets to talk, everyone gets to argue, unlike in other societies when you can't do those things.
I think that's great that you touched base about people having their own voices and like looking back on having that kind of social media etiquette and understanding amongst each other. I'm glad that we're able to have this kind of conversation back and forth now. So thank you very much, James, for spending some time here with us at the Backdoor. We hope you liked this episode. If you didn't, well, you can comment down below. You can share your thoughts. You can like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, this is At the Backdoor. Bye.
So remember to be objective and not attack me. No,
Bye.
I feel like parang nag-stray yata ako. Nag-stray ba ako?